What's up, my dudes? Long time no upload. Really haven't had much to do to either of the cars. I've got all the B20 stuff. We're going to be doing that next. But today we're actually doing exhaust for my buddy Yerral. I don't know if you guys remember this car. This is my old EG Coupe. Sold him the car and he's dailying it now, and he swapped an LS into it. And he's gonna do LSV and probably boost it, keep it on the street though, just a fun street car, stock bottom end, you know, just have fun with it. But we're gonna make a full exhaust for this car in the next few days, or in this video. It's a two and a half inch, I believe. Got the vibrant resonator, the vibrant Vband clamps, and the vibrant flat black stealth muffler. This is gonna sound really good. I can't wait to hear it. But another thing that set us back another 2 weeks is I actually cut my hand. I had to get 7 stitches. It healed pretty well. I actually took the stitches out myself, which is a little weird. Some of them felt a little odd, but that's what it is. It's healed, it feels better now. I would have had this video up probably 2 weeks ago because this delayed me. So, but we're here now and we're gonna get this thing pumped out. And also, maybe in the next video, I'm gonna get some street tuning done on this car for him before he gets the VTEC head and puts the VTEC head on and then boost it. So it's just gonna be like a you know, thrown together street tune just to get him around so he's not running super rich, super lean. Iron the car out, get the idle right, check the idle air control valve, all that. But this video we're gonna make the exhaust for him, give it a little bit of like a sound clip or so at the end. There's gonna be no cat, obviously, and we have this 4-to-1 header. It's kind of like the one I have, but there's no megaphone. I'm trying to wait for this place to warm up a little bit, and then we can get cracking. This door did have a hole in it, but he bought a new door and actually converted the doors to manual, so they're wind up now. But no hole looks way better. I mean, I kind of dig the red door, but you know. So we're gonna get this thing knocked out and see how it sounds when we're finished. Oh shit, I also forgot to mention, we're gonna be hooking up PLX wideband as well and wiring it into the S300 so we can see AFRs, obviously. That's the same one I have in my car, in the CRX. They work really, really well. They have this intelligent like sensor testing type thing. It can monitor the health of the wideband, so when your wideband fails or goes bad, it's able to tell you how well it can read the mixture and also how fast it reads the mixture in milliseconds. So a good time is like under 150 milliseconds is like prime. Under 250 is okay, but anything above that, you should look into either getting a new sensor or what's causing it to go bad. But we're going to be wiring that in as well, and I'm going to show you guys how to install that after the full exhaust is together. Alright, cool. I got the car up. I got the header off, what was on there. He did have the other header on it, but to drive it here so it wasn't so loud, he put this eBay 4-to-1 on and this cat and small ass piping. So that's off. Now we just have to start mocking up the exhaust. We're gonna probably do it exactly how we did it with mine. We'll start with the S curve in the rear section of the car, build that, and then maybe the back piece, and then work forward. That way we can get an idea on length and do all the V-bands in place. And then last we'll probably do the header, because we have a V-band for the header to the flex pipe, which we have in here, the vibrant flex band. That's going to be right back at the end of the header. Weld that on, V-band, and then the exhaust. So before I cut that off though, we have to get the rest of the exhaust made up to that point, to mock up the header, see where it may need cut. This flange isn't going to be used, so we'll cut right inside here, or right inside here. This will be off. We'll put the V-band on there, and then this exhaust will be full V-band, and he'll be able to use that for when he goes LSV. And then whenever it's turboed, we can just make the downpipe, cut the V-band off of that again, and weld the V-band then to the downpipe. If he stays 2.5 inch, I'm thinking he's probably gonna go 3-inch downpipe. Probably we'll have like electronic cutout maybe. I had brought that up to him before, we'll see what he does. That'll probably be the best bet if he's going to keep the 2.5 inch, because it's not really going to make crazy power through a 2.5 inch. So we'll see. An open cutout would sound really mean too, so we'll see what he wants to do. But we're going to start getting the exhaust mocked up in the rear, see where it needs to get cut, and go from there. Alright, so I rethought how I'm going to do this. First, I'm going to hang the muffler, because I want the muffler to look as good as possible within this cut. So I'm gonna do everything to hang it with the 2 points there and the hangers. Hang the muffler, and then it'll hang down a little bit, but I'll have a jack stand under it. That way I can fit and see where that overpipe needs to be angled, and then everything forward will just be a piece of cake. So I'm gonna put the jack stands up, hold the muffler up where it's gonna go in the bumper, in the cutout. Make the marks for the hangers. I gotta sand down a spot on the muffler so that I can weld to it. Weld the hangers, get them nice and welded on so they'll be perfect. Hang them, and then we can start moving forward. We can probably put, honestly, we can probably put the V-band on the muffler, because this all looks like it has enough space if he ever wants to take it off that it'll fit right over the control arm, no problem. Unlike my car, it's a little difficult with the 3-inch, so I'm gonna get this mocked up, make the marks, sand it, grind it, do all that jazz. Alright, so I got the hangers hung, the muffler was straight. I marked on both sides of the hanger, so I'm gonna be grinding in the middle of that section there, and then on the middle of this section here. And then when they're on the car, I can just tack it in place, pull it off, finish welding it, and then there we can have it hang, and then we can start working our way forward with the rest of the exhaust. Dilemma. So this lining the muffler up with the bumper, it looks great, but the exhaust is a little bit weird. I'm guessing on this car, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So looking through here, the exhaust has to come up and then like go right and then into the muffler. If you can see, like, there's not much room, and so I'm gonna have to possibly chop the bend and like twist it so it'll go into the muffler. As long as it goes in and it welds up, it should be fine. But I'm gonna probably have to manipulate the exhaust a little bit more than I thought I would have needed to. The muffler doesn't sit perfectly like dead center with the hangers, but sitting it where it's at right now, it sits basically dead center with the bumper. So I'm not sure, maybe the stock exhaust has like a side entrance in the rear, but we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it look good, and it's gonna sound good. So I'm gonna get these hangers tacked up, take it off, get them welded all the way, then the muffler will be ready, and then I will just have to start working forward with the exhaust. Alright, so I got the muffler mounted. I still have to trim the hangers and get that finished welded, but it looks really good. It is at a little bit of an angle this way because of how the exhaust is going to come over the lower control arm, but it's relatively flat and relatively straight out. So that looks good to me. I'm going to start moving on to the front of the exhaust. Alright, I mocked up the header and I've seen where it's going to end. We're going to cut the flange off now and weld on this half, the male half, because there are two halves. This is the male, it has the end sticking out, and the female has an indentation where the male goes. The male will go on the upstream part going down, the female will be on the downstream part. So this will go onto the header, and then the female will go on to the flex pipe right here, and then from there the exhaust pipe will go into here, get welded. Then the flex will be on the exhaust, connected to the header, so it can flex when the engine moves, if it moves. And then we can work our way back. I'm jumping around a little bit. I don't know why I'm so confused on this one. I wasn't confused on mine, but we're gonna knock it out and get it handled. So yeah, I'm gonna pull the header off, cut the old flange off, and then get the V-band tacked and welded. Alright, I got the first V-band tacked on to the header. There is a little bit of a gap, but that's because I wanted to get it as straight as possible, so it would line up with the exhaust and not cause any like binding or flex issues just sitting there not doing anything. So I got it as straight as possible and tacked it in place. I'm gonna weld it up now, and then once this is welded, I can weld the female part to the flex, and then we can start working on the center section of the exhaust. So I'm gonna weld this up and then we'll move on. Alright, so we got the female part welded onto the flex, and then this flex will mate up like this to the header, and the V-band will go on and tighten, and then this will go to the rest of the exhaust. So that's done. That's perfect. Now all we got to do is the rest of the exhaust. Let's get to it. Alright, so we got this welded up, the flex pipe onto the mid pipe. We're going to be able to hang this, secure it with the V-band, and find out where the hangers need to go on the center section. And then from there we can install the resonator, the second V-band, and then we'll come this section. And then I'm going to probably weld it here and then end up cutting it anyways, to see where this needs to go, because I might have to twist it, tweak it, I don't know yet, but we're gonna see. And then a V-band is gonna go here as well, so there will be one here after the resonator, and then there will be one here, so that this section can be taken out, then this can be taken off with the muffler. I'm not sure if I'm gonna put the V-band up here or put it before the bend. Either way, it should come off pretty freely. There's a lot of space, especially when you jack up the rear end on the EGs anyways. So I'm gonna mark up the center section, put the jack stand under it, see where I need to put the hangers for it, and start making the hangers and have it sit under its own weight. I think I messed up mine on my CRX because I didn't let it, I had it resting on the header basically, and the hangers in the center weren't taking any of the weight of the exhaust. I think that's also why the brackets broke and the header was vibrating and stuff like that. So I'm trying not to do that with this one, so I need to let it hang under its own weight and then weld the hangers in place so that the weight is taken off of the header. Although this header is better built. This is a 1320 header. The one I got was just eBay header. It was very thin metal, so it was able to move and shake and vibrate more. This isn't gonna move at all. It doesn't come with a brace either to bolt it to the block because it's pretty thick. So I don't have any doubt that it's not gonna move. So I'm gonna put this up. I'll put the jack stand under it and see where I need to put the hangers. And just like that, got ourselves some hangers. So I tacked them in place pretty good, and then I let the pipe hang with the resonator just slipped over and hanging, and it doesn't touch, it doesn't rub. There's some space for it to move a little bit. It shouldn't really move that much at all, but there is some space for it to move. When this section here is on it, it's gonna pull it down a little bit more, so that'll give it a little bit more room. So all I have to do now is put this in place, put the resonator on, tack it, take it off, weld it, and then we can start fitting up the center section to the muffler and put the V-band in place, and we're almost finished. I've only been here for like, honestly, what time is it? I think it's like 5:30. Yeah, it's 5:30. I've only been here for like 5.5 hours actually working, because I had to run to the store to get gloves and I grabbed some food. So it's pretty good time, I guess. So if I don't get it finished tonight, I'll get it finished tomorrow morning, and then we'll be able to go out and do some street tuning, get the map cleaned up, and get everything pretty good for him, so he can have a nice daily and drive it everywhere and not have to worry about anything. I'm gonna try and get him some decent fuel mileage as well. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna get this up and on, tack the resonator in place. You know, I'm not a huge fan of like actually recording all of it, I guess, because I feel like it's repetitive. What do you guys think? Do you like that? Do you like watching me weld? Do you like the little tedious stuff? It's a lot to edit, but if that's what you guys like, that's what I'll put in. I know my last few videos have just been like, I'm saying I'm gonna do it and then it's done, and then I say I'm gonna do something else and then it's done. There's not really much of me showing me doing it, but there's more talking than anything. I'm gonna try and do some point of view though for the tuning, so we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna get this up, get the resonator tacked in place, pull it down, weld it, and then we can start finishing up the exhaust. I'm excited. I want to hear how it sounds, and I can't wait until he drives it. And I'm so stoked for his reaction. See what it's like. You know, I appreciate him for giving me the opportunity to do that for his car. It's a way to get myself out there, I guess. And I really appreciate it. I know you're watching this, bro. I appreciate you. Alright, we have the resonator welded on, and now I'm going to weld on the V-band to the other end of the resonator, and that's where it'll connect to over here, and then come back and go to the muffler. We're basically almost done. So this inside diameter lip is supposed to be where the piping goes through, but this resonator is a slip fit, so it's meant to slip over top of the exhaust. So this would fit like this diameter of the pipe. You can see this fitting is a slip fit right here. It slips into here, so this wouldn't fit inside of it, but this pipe would fit right inside this lip. And that's usually how they're supposed to be done. It's made up right there, and then you weld it. But I just gotta try and center this as best I can and tack it in place and then weld it. And then I'm going to hang it up, hang up this section and see how much I need to cut off of that, because I have a feeling I'm gonna have to take probably just this slip fit section off, and then put the other V-band here and then run this back. But we'll see once I get this welded on and hung up, and then yeah, see what happens. What's the next day? I packed up yesterday. It was getting kind of cold and I was kind of tired, so I went home. So all we have to do now is to finish up this midsection right here. I'm going to mock up this section, just put it up with jack stands and see how much of this I will need to take off. Mark it, cut it, see how it fits up, put the V-band on that, and then this section will be ready. And then all I'll have to do is weld that, cut it, put the V-band there or put it at the back. I'm unsure yet which I'm going to do, but I'll probably just put it here for ease of access. That way it can be taken off here. This section will be just that, and then this can come up over the control arm to come off. But I'll have to see how it looks underneath the car. I don't want it to be a pain to come off, so you know. But this is all we have to do. Once that's done, I went and picked up some flame-proof VHT high temperature paint, and I'm gonna coat everything, header, back, all the welds, so it doesn't rust, and it'll be able to handle some temperature then, and it'll look nice. I didn't do this for mine, which I probably should have. I didn't really think about it, but I don't want this to rust on him. I don't want it to eat it out, so I figure why not put this on. And then once this is finished, I'll get a quick start up, see how it sounds, because it's not fully tuned yet. That will be tomorrow or the next video, along with the PLX DM6 wideband install. I'll be recording them today, but it won't be in this video. It'll be in the next video. Stay tuned. I'm gonna get this put up and see where our measurements are and what we need to cut out and where we have to put the welds. All right, just from that quick mock-up, it honestly looked like if I just take off the widened section that would be slip fit if you were to slip it all together. If I just take this section off, this should line up and be just perfectly lined up for the tonneau for the exhaust. So I'm gonna take off as little as possible right where this comes down right here. Put the tape around, cut it, and then line it up, mock it up, see how it's gonna work, and see if that was the right thing to do, because it looks like perfect right at the end where it goes from the widened part down to the regular diameter piping. It looks like that is going to be the move. So I'm going to tape it and cut it and then mock it back up and see where to go from there. So you guys seen I've done this tape trick a bunch of times, even in my exhaust video for my car, and I must say it works pretty well. That's pretty straight. Like, there might be just like the smallest little bit off, but that's pretty good just for, like, I guess eyeballing it. But that tape method, that's my method. I like that. I'm gonna mock this up, throw a jack stand under it and see if that was the right amount to take off, and if it is, I'm gonna tack it in place to the V-band. Then I can undo the V-band, finish welding it, and then we can put the final section of the exhaust in and see what it's looking like. All right, so I got it set in place. I don't have it tacked or welded up yet, but this is how it looks. It doesn't look like it's going to be hanging too low. The lowest part is going to be the resonator, but obviously it can't really be too far tucked up, obviously because of the size, but also because the shift linkage is kind of close to the exhaust, so it can't be too raised up in the tonneau. But I did my best to kind of try and tuck it away. But the exhaust fits perfectly inside the V-band flange, the female flange, and it fits perfectly in the tonneau. So I'm going to tack it in place, and then I can undo the V-band flange, weld that, and then we can focus on finding out where the second pipe is going to come over and go into the muffler, because this is the final stage, and this is probably going to be the most difficult because of just the way the bend is, where the muffler wants the pipe to enter and stuff. It's going to have to be twisted. So I'm going to tack this in place, pull it out, weld it fully, and then we can start getting that back section ironed out and hopefully get a quick start and see what it sounds like. So I'm gonna tack it in place. I'm gonna catch up. All right, so we've got the V-band welded onto this part of the exhaust, and then this is going to be the troublesome part. So as you can see, this goes straight, it cocks a little bit, but then it comes back. Now the muffler is like, so the muffler probably starts like right here, so this pipe has to actually come over and go like this. So I'm thinking I'm gonna put it up, see how far it's off, but I'm thinking that we're gonna have to cut this as middle as possible, like as middle as possible, and just turn it like this, and that'll kick this bottom piece or this end piece out, and it can come right over to the entrance to the muffler. I'm gonna put it up, see what it looks like. Hopefully that's an easy thing to do, cutting and moving that. I don't want it to be too troublesome and too complicated, but we're gonna see how this goes and get it finished. So this was what I was talking about when I said the muffler is not like straight. You can see where the entrance of the muffler is versus where the pipe ends, and that means that I'm gonna have to cut at the top tube right up here and twist it so that this will line up with the inlet of the muffler. Also, I'm probably gonna put the V-band, I don't know about putting it there, it's kind of close to the ground. Not sure. Let me think about this quick. Alright, I think I figured out how this is going to work. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to tack this section right here. Tack that, take it off with the mid pipe and weld it. And then I'm going to cut this section right inside here and put the V-band in here. That way it's up off the bottom part, it's not going to hit anything on the ground. Should be clear of all things, and then it'll give less piping to go over the control arm when you take the muffler off, if you ever would take the muffler off. So V-band in here, and then I'm going to cut right in the section that goes up over right here, and then I can twist it and route it right into the muffler. I'm pretty sure that's gonna work. If it doesn't look like it's gonna work, then I'll have to rethink something else, but I think that's gonna work. I'm pretty sure. We'll see. Alright, so boom, that's welded. Now we made the mark for where the V-band's gonna go. I'm gonna put through the tape trick and put a piece of tape over it, and then cut on each side of the tape. That's roughly about the width of the V-band, so I can get away with doing that and not having to worry about any fitment issues. That's how I did it with my CRX, and it came out perfectly fine. I had no issues. It lined up basically perfect. So I'm gonna do that, and then we can cut this section here right down the middle, so it's a straight cut, so that whenever I twist this straight cut will be straight the whole time. Won't have to worry about it like not lining up, and then this will feed right into the muffler. So I'm gonna cut this out, put the V-band in, and then make our cut here for the twist so that we can run it to the muffler. And once that's done, the V-band will be in, so this piece will be perfect. So let's do that. Alright, so we got that cut. We can weld on the end of the V-band. The male always goes upstream. See how that fits right inside there? Inside the lip here. Boop. Weld that on, and then we can weld the female side. Female has the indent onto this side of the exhaust. Fits perfect. Once that's welded on, then we can find the center of this tube right inside here, cut that straight line, and then we'll put the small V-band part of the exhaust on. Find what angle this has to be placed to bolt up, to mate with the muffler at the end here, and then we'll tack it in place, undo the V-band, take the whole muffler off, weld that to the muffler, and then basically be done. So close. I can't wait. Get this V-band welded up, and we can possibly have a first start today. I've only been here for a few hours. It's only It's only 1. I've only been here for 2 hours. Okay. So we're moving. Getting shit done here today. So let's weld this up. All right, we got these welded up. We got the Vbands on. I'm gonna hang this with the jack stand underneath it to support the weight, and then we're going to fit this piece up and see at which angle and where I need to cut here to get this to twist out and into the muffler. This is the last part, and then the exhaust is basically it's finished. So once this is finished, we can give it a little quick start. Well, actually, yeah, I'll tighten I'll put all the bolts on the header, give it a little quick start, see what it sounds like. And it does have 2 open oxygen sensor bungs. I'm going to need to plug with the wideband will go in one, and the plug from the other header will go in the other. But I'm just gonna start it and see what it sounds like once it's all done, and then it's all going to be coated, like I said, in the VHT flameproof flat black header paint. It's a ceramic coating, so this will take care of some of the heat as well. It should look good. So yeah, I'm gonna get this up, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like and see where we need to cut to get it to mate to the muffler. All right, so looks like I won't have to cut and twist it. I just twisted at the V-band, and I was able to get it to line up. Now the only thing I have to do is position this how I want it and then tack it to the exhaust. That way it doesn't like bump against the bumper. So once I have it tacked up and away, it doesn't look like it's gonna hit anything really. I'm gonna get it tacked up to the exhaust and send her. Let's see how she sounds. Now the bonus with MIG welding over TIG welding is you can weld through paint. So that's what I'm doing here. I got it tacked. It definitely comes in at an angle a little bit, but that's not gonna really alter flow too much. It's still gonna go straight through. It's still gonna be fine. It's gonna sound good, but it works, and that's all I was really worried about. It doesn't hit, it doesn't rub, it doesn't touch. So I'm gonna get this welded up, and then honestly, as long as all the V-bands are kind of snug, we can give it a start. And it's definitely going to have an exhaust leak from up front from the 2 wideband holes. But I'll give it a start, see what it sounds like. And then I'm going to turn it off and start coating everything, so it all look real nice, real good, won't rust. So let me get to welding. Hell yeah! Welded up pretty good for welding through the paint. This doesn't look too horrible. Could look better. Doesn't look too bad. It got really smoky, so I'm got the fan on. I'm airing out the garage a little bit. This is coming together pretty good. I mean, I thought I was gonna have a little more trouble when I saw how it was routing and how the exhaust had to come over and make an angle because of the muffler and stuff. I'm just hoping that it doesn't rub, doesn't touch, and he's golden, because that's one thing he said. He said, don't, he's like, as long as it doesn't rub or vibrate, I'll be cool. Because on his single cam on his hatch, the muffler rubbed against the bumper. Right now, I'm nowhere near the bumper. There should be no issue with it rubbing or bumping or touching. But I don't want to give the car to him and then him like, yo, it's rattling, because it's exactly what he doesn't want. So I'm gonna let that cool down a little bit. I'm gonna drink my watermelon Red Bull. I mean, Red Bull should sponsor me. I drink enough of these. Watermelon and peach, those are the go-to flavors. But yeah, I'm gonna let that cool down, throw it on, give it a little cold start, see what it sounds like. All right, guys, well, She's all in place. She's all bolted up. All the V-bands are tight. There's going to be an exhaust leak from the O2 sensor bung up front, but I'm going to hook up the battery and I'm going to give this thing a fire, see if it starts up, because it hasn't been ran in a while. Should start up though, and just give a decent little cold start vid of what it sounds like. So, all right, guys, see what it sounds like. Honestly pretty quiet. It does have a high idle right now, but that'll get sorted out once we get the tune dialed in and see if that idling control valve can work. I'm thinking there might be a vacuum leak, to be honest, because it's pretty high. The tach's not working currently, but yeah, it seems like there might be one. But give just a little. Oh, now it's doing that. Yeah, I think there might be a vacuum leak. I'm gonna give a couple revs, not anything harsh, just to hear it. Well, from up front it sounds ridiculous because there's an exhaust leak, but that's the O2 bung. Once that's sealed up, should sound pretty good. I'm about to check this clip real quick and see what it sounds like. But that's it, man. That's the exhaust. The only thing left to do is coat it. Honestly, that's literally all that's left. So I'm gonna pull it down and coat it. I'm gonna coat the header as well, so basically everything will be coated. And in the next video, I'll be installing a PLX DM6 wideband and doing some street tuning. But first we need to find out that vacuum leak, because obviously that's no bueno. It's not good. I'll buy some starting fluid and we'll find it, but let's get this exhaust coated. I don't have any acetone, so I just sprayed everything down with brake clean. These are already drying. I just sprayed the header with brake clean. Should be dry soon, like next 10-20 seconds. And I'm gonna put the first coat on the top of the exhaust pieces, wait for it to dry, flip it over to the bottom. And yeah, I showed my buddy a little snippet of the exhaust sound. I posted on IG too. IG saw it first, but he's excited. He can't wait. So I'm gonna get to it, get to spraying, and see how it comes out. Well, they're coated, and I gotta say, this looks really good, to be honest. I just did the first the coat on the underside, so it looks a little bit wet, but this looks really good, to be honest. I'm really digging the coating on the exhaust parts. I'm actually thinking about doing it to my own exhaust. It just looks fitting. It looks right, you know. I do like the way my exhaust looks, like, you know, raw metal, but I don't want it to rust, so I might do it. I don't know. We'll see. But it looks great, sounds great, it fits, it doesn't rub. I didn't hear it rattle or anything. I'm stoked. Can't wait to street tune this baby and see how she feels, you know. I forgot to mention, if you guys didn't hear in the startup, it has a twin disc in it, or a super single, I'm sorry. My buddy pulled it out of his race car to put it in this car because he's going with the upgraded clutch for his race car. So he threw it in there, and the pedal is pretty stiff. It's stiffer than it is in my car, but like I felt clutches like that stiff, but never in a Honda. It feels pretty good, it feels solid, and it feels positive, but it's definitely stiff. But that's all for this one, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a video. And I'll see you in the next video when we install this wideband and we street tune this bad boy. Deuces.